Thanks for coming again for another floor tour of a painting from the series A Walk with an Old Man's Mind. The painting this time is entitled Border Sieve. I have the feeling that I've lived life far more fully when life around me has also been able to live and flourish, the life of animals, plants and human beings. This painting is about the ability that we give some people to flourish. Once again, it's a painting that's built up of images, and these images connect together to pass on information. At the very bottom, there is a towel lying on the beach, a place of sunshine, warmth, a place of luxury, a place of peace, a place of joy, not being threatened by society. The beauty of the waves, the sound of the waves, the joy of looking at this never-ending vista. In the middle of the waves, I've drawn a barrier, a wire netting fence, and we as Australians have used wire netting fences as a way of exclusion. We've got the wild dog fences, we've had rabbit fences to limit where these animals can exist, how far their territories can come, until they intrude in a way on our life which is unacceptable. And on the other side of the wire netting is a boat, and in the boat, people we've named illegal immigrants, refugees, boat people, asylum seekers. And I believe we are permitting laws to exist in Australia which are not just, not caring for these people and not upholding the obligations we've made to the United Nations in the care of refugees. We have many acts of parliament or laws which give our legal system the parameters under which they're to operate, both internally and internationally, and every country has these and needs them. And it is one of these acts of parliament, the act to do with Australian migration zones, which is the wire netting, which defines how a person coming into this country without a visa is to be treated, what their rights are and what their obligations are. If anyone entering Australia within the Australian migration zone, they are entitled by our law to seek asylum or apply for refugee status, to apply for a visa, to have access to our courts for judgment on these issues, and also appeal to the appeals courts, and to live in Australia until these legal processes take place. The Australian migration zones have been changed, and it is these changing and the consequences of the changing which I believe has led to our uncaring treatment of people who have great needs. We now have exclusions to the Australian immigration zones where people are not able to access the law, not able to live in Australia while cases are being heard, and the law not being able to hear their pleas for help. It started off with a small section of Australia, and now it covers the whole of the Australian continent. There is no place in Australia where people who are refugees can come and claim asylum, because you have to enter Australia in an Australian immigration zone, but these don't exist anymore for people arriving by boat, as well as not hearing their claims for asylum seeker status or their application for visas. Our laws no longer permit them to reside in Australia, and so in practice what happens is they are shipped offshore into detention centres, and there they have to wait without assess their claims, and they sit in limbo. Many of them have been in this situation for years. This is very unjust. I don't like it. It does not let these people have life full. And so the painting, Border Sieve, holes in wire netting which are so shaped to allow some people into our country, but fashioned to exclude others. I think this is unjust. I think this treatment of people is inhumane.